Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be talking about a fan-favorite topic here on the channel. A pathetic little wretch known as Ranting for Vengeance. Except, no, we're not. We're not talking about Ranting for Vengeance today. And you probably know him well enough, right? God damn. Up 670% on his viewership in the last 7 days. Holy crap, this guy just got blessed by the algorithm. He's about to go giga-viral. Oh my lord. Well, he just dropped a video called Scott Snyder and the Woke Mob Fail to Cancel Me. So if you want to get an idea of what this guy's like, if you've never heard of him, let me just play a little bit of this video for you.
So I was going to continue on normally, just making a video about Resident Evil or something, but in the last 24 hours, it seems that a lot of handicaps have found out about me. And that group of dense people includes some big accounts on Twitter, which all happen to be gay, and also Scott Snyder himself. Now I'm not going to make some big video, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. If you want to support the channel in any way, you can go over to my Patreon and it'll be greatly appreciated. And if you're one of the gay freaks hate watching this video, know that nobody is putting me up to these videos or this channel. It's all off of my own accord. And some part of
Oh, convenient he mentions that. Foreshadowing is a narrative device.
me finds that incredibly hilarious that I can just piss you off by saying that nobody's forcing me to do these videos. Just out of a pure want deep in my heart, I'm just gonna keep on making these videos telling you to go complain to your boyfriend. So here we go, here's what started it all. This guy posted up some clip of an old video of mine. Instead of taking from something new, they have to go back and search through endless hours of my content. And he got a good few people liking and seeing this tweet.
I assure you, you don't have to go through endless hours of this guy's content to find immense cringe. We watched for like 10 seconds, and he calls everyone who disagrees with him gay 3 times in the first minute of the video, okay? This guy's just constant with it. Anyway, though, he's become a massive laughingstock on YouTube, though the algorithm's definitely given him push. They really want him to take off, though it might surprise you to find out he is a teenager. He is still in high school, and the reason why so many people talk about him being put up to this is because his dad also has a YouTube channel where he does right-wing grift slop. In fact, you can see here, they seem to have the same set. Yes, they do. They are using the same set and probably the same setup based on what I'm seeing here. So yeah, it definitely looks like he's being forced or at least coerced by his dad into having these politics, expressing these beliefs in this way. The consensus by most people seem to be that it's child abuse. Now, before you feel too bad for this kid, he's apparently had a lot of problems at school. I've literally been reached out to by ex-classmates of his who said, I saw your video on him. I thought you should know. He would, like, get into fights at school. Not, like, fights. He would find, like, smaller kids and, like, beat them up. Like, he was a school bully type that would only go after, like, the smallest, weakest kids, right? So this guy is a grade A piece of shit, right? Like, he is on track to grow up into an awful, awful person. That said, let's take a look at the guy who is molding him. His father, who we've never covered before. His channel's simply called RP. And he put out this video a little while ago called They Really Hate Us. So I thought we'd go ahead and take a look at the guy behind it all. Also, isn't this guy, like, Scottish or Irish? I can't tell. I think they're Irish, right? Why is he wearing... It's a New York hat? Bro, drop the N. It's just York. You're fucking... You're from the UK, bro.
More people than you think are extremely proud of who they are and where they are from. They will not be guilted by a mainstream narrative.
See, it feels just like we're watching a Ranting for Vengeance video, doesn't it? Talks the same way. They're Irish? I gotcha. Thank you. I'm American. I can't tell accents that well.
Into hating themselves and their heritage. But putting that aside, there has never been a scarier time to be alive as a white person than 2025.
I would actually argue sometime before the invention of antibiotics might have been scarier. I'd go as far as to say perhaps even before humanity started using fire might have been scarier or more dangerous, but whatever you say, man.
So we're going to have a little chat about the constant attack on white people and their culture and their heritage. We're going to have a look at Elon Musk calling out South Africa for their egalitarian over 100 laws that are anti-white. We're going to have a look at the indoctrination.
Okay.
Nation that is embedded deep within our curriculum in the educational system. And we're going to have a little look at the simple things in life, like enjoying a Christmas market, are now being taken away from us by despotic politicians who absolutely hate us. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar! Before we get into it, if you're new here and you're not already subscribed,
Don't expect there to be any, like, dog whistling in this, by the way. These two are very in your face about it. Like, they're going to be openly bigoted, racist, homophobic. They're going to use, like, gay as an insult.
I'd really appreciate it if you did that. Cheers. I'm going to start off with this clip that went viral on the weekend. It's appalling, it's scary, it's infuriating. I think it should be shown to everyone, and you should actually look at their reaction and then judge where we are as a society on how they react, because I was furious after watching it. And just for context, this is a 3-year-old.
You were furious about racial injustice in America? What kind of a cucked, cringe beta male are you, bro?
Old Australian girl who is on the way home from the indoctrination camp of school. And let's have a look at...
For those that don't know, he pulled Ranting for Vengeance out of school and homeschools him, because he considers schools a indoctrination camp.
This psychological warfare in real time.
We were just talking about Reconciliation Week, and what did you say, Evie?
Mummy said that I was the white people and I didn't want to.
Don't want to be the white people.
And I want to be the brown skin people.
Yeah, but we're trying to make it better, aren't we?
Yeah, and the white people took everything away, like children, babies, like that.
Away from them.
Away
from the Aboriginal people.
Yeah.
But now reconciliation is about making friends and trying to fix it, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got to be pure evil to hear this and be like, this is horrible, oh my god, what's happening? Mind you, this is an Irish guy complaining about education in Australia, about an indigenous group that the Australian government and Australians historically genocided and displaced and stole from, kidnapped, like brutalized in countless ways. Like, I've spoken to some Australians about it. It's really bad. And there's been attempts by some to try and make up for those evils, but the evils continue, mind you. Like, there are tons of, like, land that belongs to indigenous peoples there that are, like, completely being developed on, despite that. Like I know there was a big protest over it in, like, 2019, if I remember right, where, like, a bunch of Australians were protesting, essentially reservation land getting developed. It's a pretty, like, active political battle still in Australia, but people are getting a lot more woke to it, I suppose. A lot more Australians seem to be agreeing, like, yeah, this is pretty fucked. But he clearly does not know or care about the context behind this.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Yeah, but I'm still upset about that white skin.
Yeah. Well, we didn't do it. It was the people before us. But I understand what you mean.
She literally clarifies the factor there that these guys try to argue isn't being included. That, no, it wasn't, like, us that did it. It was the people that came before us. But there's systems that we benefit from that were established by those people, and we benefit from those systems even today, and that's privilege. That's the general premise.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
I shouldn't really be laughing, but this is psychotic. This is child abuse.
Dude, you are broadcasting your child abuse to the world. You took your child out of school, homeschooled him, brainwashed him to be a conservative, and now you're making your underage son do YouTube content, pushing your political views. It is against YouTube TOS for minors to do YouTube content, mind you, and to monetize it. Like, he's literally groomed his son into breaking YouTube TOS, and what I believe might also be now their federal law in Ireland. If I'm not mistaken, don't they have age verification where you have to be, like, beyond a certain age to use social media or make content on YouTube and post stuff and whatnot? I'm pretty sure he might be breaking the law If not, will be soon once they pass that. Pretty sure they do. I know he's at least breaking YouTube TOS. You're not allowed to make money on YouTube till you're 18. I don't even think you're technically allowed to post till you're 18, but I haven't checked. I've been an adult for a while. That's the UK? Is Ireland not a part of the UK? Every Irish person in chat's going to be like, no, Zan, we're not.
We have mainstream journalists here in Ireland going after people like myself, talking about child services for the stuff that I say. This woman needs to be locked up immediately. That's child.
She took her kid to school. What are you talking about, you fucking retard? She took her kid to school and listened to her kid talk about what she learned at school. This woman needs to be locked up. Like, you literally took your kid out of school to teach him your politics. That's child abuse.
As for the teachers, the curriculum, and the politicians that are pushing this shit, we know what should happen to them. Whilst this...
We know what should... He suggested they should be killed, by the way. That's what he's hinting at there. So, like, literally these two, this father and son, are... For one, he's abusing his son, grooming him into making right-wing content against TOS as a minor. And then on top of that, regularly referencing the idea of murdering the left, teachers, politicians, etc., that he disagrees with. I mean, his son is just constantly calling everyone on the left gay as an insult. Like he's like, and by the way, did you know they're gay? As if it's like some, whoa, they're gay, oh my god! You know?
This is super infuriating. It's not new. I've seen this with my own eyes when my own children went to the public indoctrination camps, and it's the exact same now in 2025 in most Western countries, including Ireland. They will be taught about the wonderful contributions that Africans, Asians, Indians have made to the world, and when it comes to Europeans who actually gave the world everything and...
Everything? Really? Really? Because I'd argue the people who gave the world everything probably be the Arab world. Like, the Muslim world invented all complex math, pretty much, or at least got it to the point where, in the future, many European mathematicians did do a lot of, like, great work, but, man, the concept of all basic math and quite far into the advanced, from trigonometry to calculus, goes back to Arabic mathematicians. Like, math was invented by the Arab world, and math is the basis for every major accomplishment humanity's had since. So you can't really argue that it was Europeans that made everything. If you want to try to attribute everything to one group, it would be Arabs. That's just history. I'm sorry if it triggers you, but that's reality.
Built everything. There will be a caveat, and that caveat will be that they were white and they are evil. And as we see with this 3-year-old girl coming home from school, she is beyond upset because of the color of her skin. White people stole babe.
Well, no, she's not. Well, she is a little upset about the color of her skin, which seems to be due largely to a misinterpretation of what she learned in school, which ironically, the mom who he's calling abusive is clearing up and clarifying, well, no, you're not bad because you're white, or whatever. Like, and he's calling her the child abuser for taking her child to school.
These white people ended the lives of these Aboriginal people. So because of these over-accentuated stories, so now this 3-year-old...
Over-accentuated stories? That's how we're describing the history of colonization in these countries. Over-accentuated stories.
Gets to hate her life.
It doesn't even get to be called history, because they don't like it. So it's not history, it's stories.
Because she is white, and anyone with brown skin gets a pass in terms
calculus
of
was created by a
illegal
Britbonger?
activity.
Damn.
Disgraceful and disgusting. We have to have a look at Sarah Stalker, a Kentucky state representative, a Democrat, a female. This is something that she said publicly. This is something that she believes, and it's not just her. This is across the board, whether you're conservative or progressive.
I'm going to be honest. I don't feel good about being white every day for a lot of reasons. Because it's a point of privilege that I get to move through the world in a way that so many of my other colleagues and friends and family.
Yeah, this is like the cringe virtue signaling stuff that nobody likes. No one hears this and likes it. Conservatives don't hear it and like it. Leftists hear it and cringe. I definitely don't think any black people here are hearing it and are like, oh my gosh, she's so woke. You know, it's like no one likes this. Name one group of people who appreciate this type of rhetoric. And no, I don't think she's saying this because it's what she truly feels in her heart. She's virtue signaling, and badly. Like, badly enough that it can quite easily be used as a straw man of the left.
Family members of the community don't get the privilege to do. And I'm just a female, but just a woman, just a white woman. If I was a white man, I would be functioning from a point of an even greater privilege. I think we're missing an opportunity when kids have a moment to reflect about how the color of their skin does and does not allow them to move through the world. Running to them and trying to stifle that and trying to say you shouldn't feel bad, so we don't want to ever expose you to something that is going to make you have to pause and have maybe some internal feelings. It's a missed opportunity for some really good dialogue.
So to translate that lunacy, this woman is guilty because she's white. She'd be even more guilty if she was male and white, and she doesn't want to be alone in her guilt. She wants to inflict that on children, and she thinks it should be.
Well, that's not exactly what she said. She says that the history she knows makes her feel guilty for her race, which is her prerogative, I suppose. I think she's more so virtue signaling than expressing genuine feelings. But the point she made is quite concrete and solid, that learning this history and not just shying away from teaching it to those that are uncomfortable with it is important. You shouldn't just be allowed to pretend history doesn't exist just because it makes you uncomfortable. That is what breeds retards like this guy.
Be mandatory. It should be state-run guilt, which it already is. So I don't know what she's actually pushing for. Maybe harsher restrictions on people being proud of their heritage because they're white.
Harsher restrictions? What restrictions are there on being proud of your heritage because you're white? Unless you're out there committing a hate crime, you're not committing a crime. Like, what do you mean harsher restrictions? To do what?
I don't know. So this is a viral story. This chick is all over the internet. I believe she's Jewish, which means by their account, she's not white anyway. And it always seems to kind of flow in that direction, right? She hates white people. She hates herself. She hates kids being white. And she wants to inflict pain and torture onto white kids. Not allowed to be happy anymore.
That's quite the allegation. She wants to inflict pain and torture on white kids.
Sorry. You're white. I want to pull this one up. South Africa now has more anti-white laws than apartheid had anti-black laws. This is deeply wrong, and the goal should be no race-based laws. This is, of course, talking about South Africa, and it's Elon Musk.
So, any law that mentions race is considered an anti-white law. What do you think these laws are, by the way? Like, if we actually... Because I bet we can even look for the source of this exact graph, and I bet the source does not back up the take they're giving. Because if it did, they would link it, and they'd show more. The fact they just show this graph with no further context... Let's look this up, actually. FMF, South African Race Law. FMF, South African Race Law. Free Market Foundation? What? Head of policy at the Free Market Foundation. Martin has an LLM, cum laude, from the University of Pretoria and is pursuing an LLD at the same institution. What is race law? First, let's answer this. What is the common law? The common law are those legal rules and understandings that have been recognized, applied, and refined over centuries by successive generations of jurists and judges. Common law rules do not and cannot materialize out of thin air by legislative decree, but must be based on the reasoned application of pre-existing legally relevant principles. Well, at common law, there is no such thing as race. The common law distinguishes between natural and juristic persons as legal subjects. So, is this entire website a right-wing... This is a right-wing think tank. This is not... Wait, they literally... This tweet is not from a, like, organization that gathers data. This is from a right-wing, like, anti-South Africa... Hold on. Let's look... Free Market Foundation. Oh, we're about to go down such a rabbit hole here, aren't we? The Free Market Foundation refers to itself as a classical liberal think tank located in Bryanston, Johannesburg, South Africa. Founded in 1975, the FMF was established to further human rights and democracy through principles of an open society, the rule of law, personal liberty, and economic liberalism, and press freedom. According to the Mercury editor, Fikile Nistielkalulubioya, the FMF is a libertarian think tank wanting unfettered capitalism, which eschews all forms of late state intervention in the life of the individual citizen. In 1987, Leon Low, the FMF's co-founder and then executive director, described the work of the foundation as follows: "We mobilize public opinion, we lobby, we fight government, any government, and make representations and submissions. Our objective is to create a climate of public opinion among politicians, radical groups, and unions in favor of free markets." In 2017, the Think Tank and Civil Societies program of the University of Pennsylvania ranked the FMF as the 123rd best think tank in the category of top think tanks worldwide. The 21st best think tank in Sub-Saharan Africa, or 21st best think tank in Sub-Saharan Africa, and the 109th best independent think tank in the world for the year of 2016. From 2012 until May 2014, businessman Herman Masaba, who was the executive mayor of Johannesburg, served as chairman of the foundation's board. He stepped down from his position when he joined the Democratic Alliance as an ordinary card-carrying member, citing the need for the foundation to remain politically impartial. After a bitter power struggle over several years, Leon Liu, the face of the foundation for nearly 5 decades, was ousted from the organization and resigned in July 2022. Liu said the FMF wanted to be more partisan, while he wanted to retain its neutral stance. The executive committee said he refused to work within the lawful structure of the foundation and work with its executives. As of November 2023, David Ansara is the chief executive officer, and Rex van Schaliewick is the chairman of the board. So they were maybe kind of okay at one point, and very recently, as of 2023, they're under completely new leadership, have gone entirely partisan. Their previous guy, Leon Liu, has been ousted from the company because he wanted to keep the think tank, because he wanted to keep it more impartial and non-biased, and the highly political, biased people ousted him and put their own guys in charge. So now it is literally a right-wing... this place used to be a arguably viable source of info, which is why it's probably being cited and they're getting away with it. But if you actually keep up on their credentials and read past the first couple paragraphs, you find out, oh, these guys are shady as hell. I'm glad we looked into that. Look how easy it is to take 5 seconds to do a little research.
The government of South Africa and Cyril Ramaphosa, I've talked about him ad nauseum. It's absolutely crazy what's going on over there in terms of the anti-white laws. I mean, I've seen things like this pop up everywhere, where the University of Pretoria, the South Campus, no whites allowed. Wow. And I saw this...
Wait, really? Perversity of Pretoria. Wait. Hey, these are stickers that were put on here by protesters, you fucking idiot. What? Alright, let's Google it then. No whites allowed University of Pretoria. No, this might be one of the most blatant lies ever. Yep. The claim that that no whites allowed at the University of Pretoria, UP, stems from a 2023 protest stunt involving stickers, not official university policy. In October of 2023, the youth wing of the Afrikaner rights organization AfriForum Youth placed stickers. It's a white Afrikaner rights, or it's a white supremacist group. Placed stickers reading "No whites allowed" and "Blacks only" at entrances to the university's Hatfield campus. The group stated this was a protest action intended to highlight that they were what they perceived as double standards and a lack of action by the university against an earlier incident where members of the EFF Student Command, or EFFSC, allegedly prevented white students from accessing the campus during a protest. The University of Pretoria strongly condemned the stickers, calling it a public relations stunt and advocating for racism. The university stated its firm commitment to non-discrimination and diversity and initiated disciplinary action against those responsible for defacing university property. It also stated the sticker incident occurred outside its premises and were reported to the police. I noticed that the stickers were... so I looked at it for a minute. I was like, so he's trying to pass this off as real signs put up by the university, but it says Perversity of Pretoria, not university. So that was a big red flag. But then also, why is it just stuck onto the outside gate? Like, that's clearly a fence, and the inside is clearly the campus. So why is it stuck onto the outside haphazardly? Why is it just thrown on, the same sticker, thrown on haphazardly onto the sign on the outside once again? This is clearly a bunch of people who just stuck stickers all along the outside of the fence so people passing by would see it and take photos, and maybe the story would blow up and believe, or at least some retards like this guy would believe, that they are... I mean, God, this account got 12,000 likes pushing this narrative that the school put up these stickers. That is crazy. It's still white hate? No, it's not. What are you talking about? It's literally not. A white supremacist group put this up to protest the school, claiming they're anti-white. And then this guy, like an idiot, fell for it, believing that these are signs the school put up. What do you mean it's still white hate? Like, how can you cope this hard?
Of Pretoria, the South Campus, no whites allowed. Wow. And I saw this really good statement from Base Bandita. It says, so let me get this straight. White South Africans don't belong in South Africa. Even after being there for 400 years, white Americans are...
No one's saying that.
...on stolen land, even after being there for 500 years. But...
do better math.
Third world illegal immigrants who just showed up last Thursday is just as American as anyone else born here. And if you notice or say anything about that, you are every phobe in the book, bigoted and racist. It's got to be exhausting being a liberal. And you know what? It's not even about being liberal because, you know, H1...
Man, it is exhausting being a liberal. Not because you got to be offended at everything, but because it is absolutely just the way for conservatives to lie constantly. Like, we debunked several lies and misrepresentations here. And some of the lies are very non-overt. Like, here's a big graph that seems to back up all their claims. Well, let's see what the graph source is. Oh, you didn't pull this from, like, some independent academic organization. You pulled it from a right-wing think tank. You know, like, most people... It takes a minute. It takes some effort to actually fact-check these things and look into the truth and genuinely make an effort to educate people, not just propagandize to them. So yeah, it is kind of exhausting to be left-leaning. That's true. But, I still do it. I still like being left-leaning. Just because it's exhausting, hard work to be a progressive doesn't mean I'm not going to do it. You may be a lazy, good-for-nothing conservative, but we on the left appreciate the value of hard work, all right? We fight the Sisyphusian battle of trying to debunk conservative misinfo on the daily. And eventually we enjoy it. But yeah, this is the bearded, neckbeard, divorced loser dad of Ranting for Vengeance who has pulled him out of school, groomed him into being a little right-wing shithead, and is now pushing him to, against the TOS of YouTube, and YouTube doesn't care, make content and monetize it as a minor. Literally pulled him out of school. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not even being homeschooled. He might not be receiving any kind of education. It's very possible that he's just not in school, and is just full-time doing YouTube now. That wouldn't surprise me. Regardless, though, if you enjoyed this segment, if you found it entertaining, enjoyable, or educational in any way whatsoever, leave a like and a comment down below. I certainly appreciate it. If you don't know what to say in the comments, comment ranting. It'll tell me you watched all the way to the end, and, you know, it helps the video a lot in the algorithm. You can also subscribe and ring the bell icon if you want to turn on all notifications, so YouTube will actually tell you when I go live or upload in the future. And join my fan Discord if you haven't already. I'll tell you that it's a great place. I host weekly, well, almost weekly gaming events and stuff there, so if you want to be a part of it, then make sure to join. I hope to see you there. This Friday, we're going to watch the Chainsaw Man movie, so if that sounds fun to you, then make sure to mark your calendars. I'll see you then, but thank you for watching.